Young people perhaps dealing with unemployment, with the feeling of not having the desired status, with the sense of urgency of a life that seems to pass by without being taken advantage of. But there is an answer to all this suffering, and it is found within the screen. Nick Fuentes has become one of the most influential figures in youth politics. With ultra-conservative, supremacist, and anti-Semitic tendencies, he has built his public image supported by mimetic drive as the undisputed king of the Groypers, a group of far-right cyber activists and internet provocateurs, known for gaining more and more weight through their boycott actions against other right-wing groups, such as the attacks on Charlie Kirk's Turning Point Foundation. Why does the drive for collapse seem to be guided by certain ideological coordinates? Does this experiential and destructive accelerationism have a pronounced right-wing prism? Or are we facing a trans-political reality that has manifestations across the entire spectrum of positions and that has its origins in deeper places of contemporary contradiction? To answer these questions, we must go back to the end of World War II. Since 1945, American hegemony has not only exported economy and geopolitical influence, but also emotions, individualism, consumption, spectacle, promised social mobility, and permanent anxiety. And decade after decade, each generation has perceived that they are living through the exhaustion of the immediately preceding model because the void caused by the contradictions of the spectacle society is not a new phenomenon. The truth is that this trend has manifested itself in very diverse forms since the 1950s. The consolidation of the way of life of contemporary capitalism has brought with it recurrent collective psychopathologies, and our present is no exception. But what differentiates our crisis from the previous recurrent bankruptcies? In reality, when we talk about crises and bankruptcies, we are not talking about a specific break that occurs at a given moment. The most appropriate definition is that of a continuous malaise that takes on various forms depending on the economic, cultural, and political moment. It is a continuous decline. So, what are the characteristics nowadays? The key lies in the arrival of link-up media, thanks to technological breakthroughs. And since the 1950s, this ongoing malaise has been characterized by maintaining at all times certain hallmarks: precariousness, the impossibility of accessing the American dream, empty jobs, meaningless consumption, and the collapse of the horizon of expectations. However, the last major economic crash, which caused the 2008 crisis, marked a before and after. During those years, at the same time as the crisis, the emergence of social networks was developing as a parallel society, as a perfect vehicle to channel collective impulses and emotions, acting as a sounding board. These social networks function as media outlets in themselves, where the reporters are each and every one of the users who participate in them. They are not one-way communication media. They are spaces where the vectors of dialogue are infinite, traversing personal experience in dealing with the events that shape the present. Before social media, the media were just that, a one-way projector of information and opinion. But today, those traditional media are nothing more than another user in an interpersonal network that encompasses everything related to the way individuals feel. It is the arrival of link-up media, a web that does not allow escape from the emotional loop of current events, prolonging an agony that accelerates itself, colonizing emotions, leaving users paralyzed on the threshold of sentimental accelerationism, where one never reaches collapse, but also never escapes the idea of crisis, feeding like never before the recurrent collective psychopathology that is the feeling of decay and absence of future. Nick Fuentes is not a revolutionary leader. He is nothing more than an opportunist, a parasite within a sick body, completely eaten away by the depression of the virus that is the link-up media, and of which we are all accomplices because the rot advances with every like, every subscription, every view, and it cannot be stopped. Nick Fuentes and his Groyper army, as well as the political trends that emanate from this collapse impulse, are nothing more than an inevitable symptom of the recurring collective psychopathology that, thanks to the internet, has become entrenched in the form of a young man who only dreams of the collapse of order and chaos. Feeds the woodworm, subscribe, and ring the bell before the American dream comes to an end.